Tennessee will scrimmage tomorrow, a big marker in the progression of fall camp. What do you think is the biggest objective, or at least where would you start the conversation of what Tennessee's coaches hope to get done and figured out with the first scrimmage?
I think individually, like the quarterback battle, Josh, you're looking for operations. You're looking for how the quarterbacks process and get the ball out of their hands. Are they making the right read? With the receivers that are down right now, I think that's what I'm looking for if I'm Josh Heupel or Joey Halsley, right? Like, get the ball where it's supposed to be. Now, maybe you don't have as big a play because you're throwing to a walk-on or whatever, but if the ball's going where it's supposed to go, if the read is correct, that's what matters right now in this first scrimmage, because you have to get back to full strength or as close to full strength as you can from a receiving core to start seeing the real bloom of the offense. And I think that, that's where I'm looking quarterback-wise. Outside of that, I think it just, you want to see continued growth out of a lot of these young players that don't have a ton of experience, whether they're true freshmen or even redshirt freshmen or players that are maybe in their third year in the program that just haven't played. You want to see players like Jordan Ross flash and Caleb Herring flash. There's no Josh Josephs right now, so they're going to get a ton of opportunity. Same thing in the secondary, like Idris Farouk, Caleb Beasley. You want to see those players continue to shine like they have through fall camp. Those are important things to me as you look at where this team is as a whole, is seeing some of those young players continue to move and produce in the direction you're wanting them to move and produce.
If you had to pick one player with the most to gain in Saturday's scrimmage, player that's on the team.
The most to gain. Ooh, that's a great question. I would probably tell you I'm looking at Ethan Davis. Ethan has flashed. He's shown tons of potential through 2 years, but he's never been super consistent. And I think he's finally gotten to the point where he's gotten over the hump. Tennessee didn't feel the need to go and get anybody else in the transfer portal. They like their 2 freshmen that they have. Cole Harrison's back now, so they've got a room that's 5 deep. Van Dorslayer obviously is still in the red jersey, so I do not think he will go tomorrow. At least I don't know why you would until you come out of the red. I'm looking at Ethan Davis. They need him to be a real producer for them, especially with how injured they are at wide receiver. I think that is a big, big deal. Defensively, I think it's the edges. I think it's whether Caleb Herring or Jordan Ross, because you need to produce at that level. A year ago, Tim Banks did not have to blitz at the rate he had in the first 3 years because you did have better pass rushers and the threat of James Pierce. I think you'll go back to seeing more blitzing from like the linebacker spot like you saw with Aaron Beasley here. Now, maybe not full tilt, but I do think you'll see that sprinkled in a little bit more this year with the defense. But I think it's the edges for me. I think it's Jordan Ross. You need him to continue to progress. I know he had a couple of really nice plays the other day to round out practice and got to the quarterback. Can he continue to do that and have maybe that James Pierce type sophomore year that he had a couple of years ago?
We're talking to Austin Price of Volquest.com. What is the status of receivers Chris Brazzell and Braylon Staley?
Staley's got a hammy. Go get him healthy. There's no point to rush him back and end up retweaking it. I think there's hope that he could be back sometime next week, but I don't think they'll push it. I think they'll take their time with Braylon Staley. As for Brazzell, I expect him back next week. I thought he might be back at the end of this week. He's done enough off to the side that he'll be through acclimation. So whenever he is fully cleared to return, he'll be able to just go right into normal practice mode with his teammates and not have to go through the acclimation days. He's done enough off on the side to be able to acclimate, and so that'll be good for him. But the wide receiver room needs Brazzell back. They need Staley to get healthy. They need Mike Matthews to get healthy. And, I think to a degree it's a good thing for Radarius Jackson and or Travis Smith or Joakim Dodson or Amari Jefferson to get the run that they are getting. But at the end of the day, you would like to be able to practice with your, quote, top 3 receivers all on the field. To this point, they've not been able to do that.
Well, Austin Price, Volquest.com, what do you think people should take away from the fact that Jermon McCoy was on the field doing work, there off to the side? What does that mean in terms of his return date? Is that Syracuse? Is that later on? What does it mean, him being out there today?
It means he took the next step. And the process of returning to action when you're coming over, when you're overcoming an ACL or a shoulder or whatever, you have to clear hurdles. Today was another hurdle cleared. And for Jamad McCoy, that's a great sign because, he should be able to play football for Tennessee this fall. We've all thought that to be the case, but I think his ability to get back to the field seems earlier in the season. I'm not saying he's back for Syracuse. I think that's a pipe dream, but can he miraculously be back for ETSU, which would, I think, put him on track to play against Georgia, or is he back after Georgia? I think to play against Georgia, he has to be ready to play against ETSU because I don't think anybody's going to go ACL surgery 7 months ago, go against Georgia. I think he needs some time to knock off the rust. If I were a betting man, I would probably say after the Georgia game, which would be like late September. But I do think that he's going to act sooner in the season rather than later in the season. I think he's checking boxes. He's crossing everything off the list. And again, has constantly been a little bit ahead of pace in his ability to rehab and get back quicker than many people expected, which is a great sign. But they're not going to rush him back, Jason. They're going to let him take his time. When he feels like he's ready to go is when Jamad McCoy will return to the field.
Austin Price, Volquest.com. So tomorrow's an important day for Tennessee's football team as they will scrimmage. It's always an important time in recruiting. The latest conversation you hear with five-star wide receiver Tristen Keys, five-star running back Savion Hyder.
Bring it.
We'll give the people what they want.
Nothing's really changed since last week. Hyder kind of went into hiding, and he'll announce on the 19th, and he's laying low, and Michigan feels good. Tennessee feels good. We'll kind of see where things go. I continue to feel like I would take Tennessee. I'm sure the Michigan people would take Michigan. That's just kind of how that works. As for Keys, he remains committed to LSU. We'll see, what he's able to, decide to do. What's his timeline? I think if he's going to do something, and I think I said this with you guys last week, if he's going to do something before his senior season starts, then you're in that kind of window over the next, 10, 11 days. If he doesn't do anything before then or by then you're looking at probably deep into the season, right? He's going to take visits. He's going to go see schools. He's going to go and see a bunch of games, and then you push it way further down the line. So the question is what does he want to do? I continue to say I would take the field over LSU. And then doubling down on that, I think his best relationships, his longest deeply rooted relationships are in Knoxville. So thus, I favor Tennessee for Tristen Keys long term. So we'll see. Tennessee's got to continue to battle there. There's been a lot of chatter about Tristen Keys dating back to May, June, and July. He has remained committed to LSU. What does it take to get him over the hump as a potential flip candidate? We'll see. Again, I think you're looking at timelines here over the next little bit on all those players.
Hey, Austin, last thing from me, Austin Price, Volquest.com. What do we get first? A public announcement of a starting quarterback for Tennessee or a public announcement of the new apparel deal?
The new apparel deal. They're not going to – the quarterback will not be named by the time I talk with you guys next week.
Okay.
The apparel deal could be, and so we'll kind of see what they're able to get done as they dot the I's and cross the T's in that.
But that's close.
Yes, it is my belief that is close. And you'll probably hear something on that sometime next week.
Okay.
We're going shopping, Austin, for some new gear, huh? You gonna take me?
Jason,
you gonna take me on a shopping spree?
Jason, you just go to petermillar.com. They have all kinds of Power Tee logoed apparel at Peter Millar. So that's what I wear.
Austin's probably got his own code.
Yeah, I was about to say, can I use the Austin Price coupon code, discount code?
Well, I do have that code. Jason. I don't
want them to charge you more if I use it.
Maybe one day I'll share that with you.
Okay.
I believe it. Swain's going to be climbing cool down there on the field August 30th during warm-ups when Tennessee and Syracuse.
No, he won't.
That
isn't going to affect for another year.
No, that's true. That's true. Excuse me.
Climb cool.
Hey,
another correction. I'll be in the booth.
You will be in the booth. Yeah. But you'll be talking those guys up, getting them angry, getting them started.
Yeah, you tell Hubs, man. I'm looking forward to the next time we play a nice and cold game up north, man, because he's going to enjoy that.
Hubs will have a sweatshirt on August 30th.
Oh yeah, you better believe it.
August 30th.
Better believe it.